Welcome to today's session, and today we will talk about pathological calcification, also known as heterotrophic calcification. It is defined as abnormal deposition of calcium in tissues other than osteoid or enamel. It is basically of two types: dystrophic calcification, that is deposition of calcium salts in dead or degenerated tissue, and metastatic calcification, precipitation of calcium salts in apparently normal tissues. The mechanism of calcification includes initiation, that is, it can be extracellularly when the for these calcium deposits in various cells, as for example in atherosclerosis or bacteria, in dental plaques, and sometimes in mitochondria within the cells. It is a reliable indicator of cell death. What happens that when there is cell injury, the as soon as the reversible cell injury turns into permanent, reversible cell injury changes to irreversible cell injury, then the calcium ions, they come out and they form a nucleus, and around this nucleus more and more calcium ions uh, come from the death of cells, and they form nucleus around it which grows inside, and the calcium salts, they appear as granular deposits staining deep blue with hematoxylin, as you can see in this slide. Also, they can be identified with the red staining with alizarin red S, as in this slide, or silver impregnation methods of Von Cossa are stains for phosphate and carbonate. So, the first type of calcification, that is dystrophic calcification, the calcium deposits in locally dying tissues where the normal serum levels of calcium are there, and there is no derangement in calcium metabolism. The causes of this are calcium in dead tissue or calcification in degenerate tissue. In dead tissue, the examples are seen in Ghon's focus and associated with lymph nodes, or mesenteric lymph nodes in primary intestinal infection, and well calcified tuberculous lesions. So, this is the deposition of gaseous necrosis in a lymph node, calcification around it. Now, this is in a mediastinal lymph node, in which we can see areas of calcification. The dead parasites in various parts of the body, like Trichinella spiralis, hydrated schistosoma, cysticercosis, they also get calcified and are visible on X-ray. The fetus is there is a phenomenon known as lithopedion. So, lithopedion is a phenomena by which the baby gets aborted inside the mother's womb, and she does not know about it, and over a period of time the whole fetus gets calcified. This is known as lithopedion. This is the cut section of the fetus, and we can see that the whole of the fetus is calcified. In fat necrosis, in pancreatitis, also there is collection of calcium particles inside the uh, fatty tissue, and they can be seen. Now, this is in a breast. Because of fat necrosis, there is collection of the traumatic lesions, and they form a calcification. This is in pancreatitis, there is fat necrosis, and there is deposition of calcium particles inside the fatty cells. A very common cause is infarcts in various parts of the body, which can get calcified. The thrombi in veins, they cause phleboliths. The hematomas, especially in close association with bone, they gradually get calcified, or subdural hematoma, traumatic myositis ossificans in the tendons when there is an injury due to motorcycle accident or in, the Colles fracture. Then, because when the trauma leads to hematoma, and when it heals, it causes ossification inside the muscle. Now, in degenerate tissue, the chronic inflammatory granulation tissue in the wall of the chronic abscesses, constructive pericarditis, scarred valves in rheumatic heart disease, and healed infective endocarditis, they also cause chronic inflammatory in granulation tissue. If you see here, these are the calcified aortic valve. Now, this is the atheroma in aorta and coronary artery. There is the fatty deposits. They start building in the wall of the blood vessel, and gradually they grow in size, restricting the blood flow through the arteries. Monckeberg sclerosis, that is calcification in tunica media. This is a deposition of calcium inside the tunica media of the blood vessels, and senile degenerate tissue, or in elderly, which leads to the calcification in the costal cartilage, in the pineal gland after middle age, in the tendons, especially supraspinatus tendons. See, this is the sebaceous cyst in the epidermoid cyst. Then there are the large uterine fibroids, which are seen in the, which get large uterine fibroids which get calcified. The samoma bodies can be seen in thyroid and in serous adenoma ovary, and some lesions which, like pulmonary alveolar microlithiasis, that is calcified laminated structures in alveoli, which can also be seen in prostate as corpora amylaceae. See, these are the corpora amylaceae in the prostate, which are basically calcifications. Calcinosis universalis is a manifestation of systemic sclerosis or dermatomyositis, where there is widespread calcification of skin, subcutaneous tissues, muscles, and tendons. See, this is the calcinosis universalis, and this is the deposition under the skin. Another one of calcinosis universalis. Now, these are large calcareous swellings inside this in the subcutaneous tissue near the larger joints, for example, elbows, shoulders, knees, and hip. Idiopathic calcinosis of the scrotum or multiple calcific nodules occur in the scrotal skin. Chondrocalcinosis, that is deposition of calcium pyrophosphate crystals in the cartilage, also known as pseudo-gout, and in these the needle-shaped crystals can be seen, which get rod or weak positive biofringence on polarized light. The second major classification is metastatic calcification. This is the disordered metabolism of calcium and phosphate. The generalized metastatic calcification is usually due to hypercalcemia or due to high phosphate levels seen as in renal osteodystrophy. The various causes of metastatic calcification are increased levels of parathyroid hormone, destruction of bone tissue, vitamin D related disorders, and renal tubular acidosis. So, in all these circumstances, there is increase in the serum calcium levels, which lead to creation of nuclei in different parts of the body, and which around which more and more calcium gets deposited, leading to metastatic calcification. The various sites which can lose their acid and have an internal alkaline component, are more predisposed to metastatic calcification. Like kidneys, there is deposition around the tubules leading to calcinosis and which may lead to renal failure. In the lungs, deposition of alveolar walls. In the stomach, around the fundal glands, and in blood vessels, the coronary vessels mostly, sometimes the cutaneous vessels also. So this is the slide of nephrocalcinosis. In the kidney, we get a deposition in the tubule. Calcium deposits in the lungs when we see deposition of. Now, this is a slide of nephrocalcinosis where we can see deposition of calcium in the tubules, and along with the von Costa stain, which makes it prominent. In the lungs, there is deposition walls of the alveoli, and they take special staining. The alveoli become hardened. So this slide is very important from examination point of view, as this is a very commonly asked question is differences between dystrophic calcification and metastatic calcification. The dystrophic calcification is deposits of calcium in dead and degenerated tissue, and the metastatic calcification is deposits of calcium salts in normal tissues. The calcium metabolism is normal in dystrophic calcification and deranged in metastatic calcification. The serum calcium levels are normal in dystrophic calcification, while there is hypercalcemia in metastatic calcification. The causes of calcification are necrosis, infarcts, thrombi, hematoma, dead parasites, old scars, atheromas, and some tumors, cysts, etc. All these basically involve localized a cell injury, while in metastatic calcification the causes are hyperparathyroidism, bony tissue lesions, prolonged immobilization, hypervenoprotaminosis D, etc. The pathogenesis is similar to formation of normal bone hydroxyapatite, involving phases of initiation and propagation in dystrophic calcification, while metastatic calcification is favored by relatively high pH at certain sites, for example lungs, stomach, blood vessels, and cornea. Here, since the pH becomes high, it leads to deposition of calcium. So this was the short summary of pathological calcification. Thank you.